What if I told you that in one small village, a mother believed that only a fat woman could bring peace, prosperity, and strong grandchildren? She said, "Slim girls break hearts, but fat women break yams and curses." What happened when her son refused, and the fattest woman in the village stole his heart instead? Stay with me, because this story will leave you laughing, thinking, and maybe calling your mother. Long ago, in the lively village of Nala, where the moon often whispered secrets to the palm trees, a young man named Ekene was fast approaching the age of marriage. He was tall, fine-faced, and hard-working, the type of man every mother in the village prayed for. But Ekene had one problem. His parents. His father, Chief Ugo, was the village's most respected palm wine tapper. His mother, Mama Ugomma, was as loud as a talking drum. They were both proud and traditional, and very particular about the kind of woman their son must marry. "My son cannot marry one of those slim, weak-looking girls that look like broomsticks," Mama Ugomma would shout while pounding yam. "He needs a woman with body, big waist, heavy arms that can carry 5 children and still farm the next day." The villagers laughed. But Mama Ugomma wasn't joking. They began searching for the fattest, most curvaceous woman in the village. It became a competition. Families even fattened up their daughters in hopes of winning Ekene's hand. But Ekene was quietly suffering. He didn't care about size. He wanted to marry for love, for kindness, for peace, not pressure. But his parents did care. In the village market, Mama Ugomma will show off to her fellow women. "See, my daughter-in-law must not enter this house with broomstick legs, or I want a woman whose hips can block the wind and whose footsteps shake the compound." When Mama Ugomma visited the village women's circle under the big mango tree, she loudly said to them, "You see Onyenye, that one that walks like palm oil drum? That's the kind of woman I want. If she sits on a wooden chair, it must groan. That's the sign of a fruitful womb." One day, Ekene brought home a slim, elegant bill. Mama Ugomma folded her arms, eyes the girl from head to toe. "Chai! Is this the one you call wife? This one that wind can carry like wrapper? If she fights another woman, it's her shadow that will do the slapping." At night, Mama Ugomma fans herself and dreams out loud. "Give me a daughter-in-law that eats 6 wraps of pounded yam and still asks for more. One that sings while sweeping and shakes the dust from our ancestors' graves. Or else I will get one for you by myself." She held a list of names of young women in the village. Chinwe, too slim. One small wind and she will fly away. Ngozi, she has hips, but her waist is like a mosquito. Ah, Ugomma, that's the one. When she enters a room, even the walls respect her. One day, Mama Ugomma came home grinning. "We found her. The biggest woman in all of Erumunla. Her name is Ugomma, and her hips are as wide as the village path." Everyone in the compound gathered to watch Ugomma arrive. She came with a slow, confident walk, wrapped in bright Ankara, her head tie towering like royalty. Her laughter was thunderous. Her steps made dust rise. Ekene stood. His eyes met hers. She stared straight back. Bold, unapologetic, curious. "So," she said without flinching, "you're the man they want to marry me because I'm fat?" The compound fell silent. Ekene looked around, then back at her. "And you? Are you marrying me because I'm fine?" Ugomma smiled. That was the moment something strange happened. The two began to laugh. Everyone else was confused, but they saw something spark. Before we continue, kindly tell me where you are watching from. Over the next few days, Ekene and Ugomma were forced to court each other under the watchful eye of the village elders. They took long walks through the forest, sat beside the stream, and even visited the market together. And slowly, Ekene began to change. Ugomma wasn't just big, she was brilliant. She could recite proverbs faster than the village griot. She knew the names of every herb in the forest. And she had dreams, dreams of owning the biggest yam barn in the region and turning waste into wealth. Ekene began to admire her mind, and Ugomma? She began to see past Ekene's quiet frustration. She saw the boy who played drums at night, who loved children, who spoke gently to old people. But the villagers? They weren't interested in love. They wanted a wedding, and fast, until one fateful night, under a blood-red moon, Ugomma disappeared. When the villagers woke the next morning, they found Ugomma's hut empty. Her sandals were by the door, her wrapper still folded on the chair, but she was gone. Whispers ran through Enla like harmattan fire. She ran away. Maybe she didn't want to marry Ekene after all. A woman that big can't just vanish, oh? Mama Ugomma was furious. After all our efforts, all our praise, and she disgraces us like this? Ekene, better go and find your wife before I find another one for you. But Ekene was heartbroken. This wasn't about his mother or the village anymore. He missed Ugomma's voice, her sharp tongue, her laughter that echoed louder than the town crier. He went from hut to hut, asking. He walked to the stream where they used to sit, then wandered deep into the forest paths, hoping, praying, and then, on the third night, he dreamt. In the dream, Ugomma stood by the sacred Ugbo tree, her body glowing with golden light. Behind her stood 3 ancient female spirits, fat, dark-skinned, and majestic, each wrapped in glowing white cloth. One of them spoke in a voice that echoed like thunder and wind. The village mocks what they don't understand. In Ugomma's lives, the spirit of our ancestors. She is more than flesh. She is strength, abundance, and wisdom. But Erumunla has become shallow, said the second spirit. They see fat as shame, not power. Ekene, said the third, do you truly love her, or did your heart follow your mother's plan? I love her, he whispered in the dream. I didn't expect to, but I do. The spirits hummed, a sign like drums echoing through rocks. Then go to the Ogbo tree before sunrise. If your love is true, you will find her. Ekene awoke with a start. It was still dark. The cock had not even crowed. But he ran, barefoot, into the forest, through the mist, until he reached the Ogbo tree. And there she was, Ugomma, sleeping peacefully, wrapped in a white cloth. Her skin glowed faintly in the moonlight. Ekene fell to his knees. I found you, he whispered. I don't care about the marriage. I just want you back. Ugomma stirred, opened her eyes, and looked at him. They say I'm too much for one man, she said softly. Then maybe I'm the right man, he replied. She smiled, and at that moment, a wind swept through the forest. Leaves circled them. Fireflies blinked like stars. The spirits had witnessed his answer, and they were pleased. When they returned to the village hand in hand at dawn, people gasped. Mama Ugomma wanted to shout, but even she could feel something different in the air. Then, Ugomma did something no one expected. She walked into the village square, climbed the talking drum stage, and faced the crowd. You all saw only my size, she said, voice bold. You judged me like a yam judged by its skin. But I carry strength. I carry spirit. I carry ancestors. The elders watched in stunned silence. I may be big, but I'm not here to be a joke, a prize, or an embarrassment. I'm here because Ekene chose me, and I chose him back. Then she looked directly at Mama Ugomma. I am not marrying your son because of your standard. I am marrying him because he saw me. Silence. Then the oldest elder of Erunmulla stood up. She speaks truth. For too long we have mocked those who carry more. From this day we honor all forms of beauty, all forms of strength. The sun rose gently over the hills of the village, casting golden light on the villagers gathering near the big baobab tree. Drummers beat their talking drums, announcing the long-awaited wedding of Ekene, the quiet palm wine tapper's son, and Ugomma, the beautiful, full-figured woman who now walked like royalty through the path of praise. Ekene stood tall beside the elders, his heart beating fast. He had never seen Ugomma look so stunning. Her richly woven wrapper, hugged her curves like it was made just for her, her skin glowing like oiled mahogany, and her laughter spreading through the air like the scent of ripe mangoes. Ugomma walked in, hips swaying like the rhythm of a sacred dance. The women ululated and clapped. Mama Ijoma's eyes filled with proud tears. She whispered, "Yes, my daughter-in-law is not just entering this home, she is entering with presents." The chief elder poured libation. The village children scattered petals of hibiscus and crushed egusi shells as blessings. Goats bleated, chickens ran, and palm wine flowed like river water. When Ekene held Ugomma's hand and the two bowed before the ancestors, a light breeze passed through the gathering, like even the spirits had come to watch. The elder declared, "From today, you are husband and wife. May your home be full like her waist, and your joy deep like her laughter." Cheers erupted, drums doubled, women danced, men clapped. Even Mama Ugomma, with her stiff legs, joined in, twisting and turning like she was 20 years younger. And that was how the man who once doubted learned to love, and the woman the world laughed at became the queen of his heart. Not about body sizes, but about respect, value, and seeing beyond the surface. They became one of the most beloved couples in Ugomma. Ugomma started a village school for girls and women, teaching confidence, farming, and herbal wisdom. And Ekene, he became her #1 supporter, treating her like the queen that she is, fanning her and dancing like a fool whenever she smiled. Because real love doesn't weigh people, it lifts them, and so they lived happily ever after. Moral lesson of this story is that true beauty isn't in size, but in the heart that loves without pride. If this tale touched your heart, made you laugh, or reminded you of your own village stories, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to hear more magical stories from the heart of Africa. And tell Annie in the comments, would you marry who your mother chooses? Let's gist in the comments. And leave a love emoji for the tuple.